All four of President Franklin Delano Roosevelt's sons served in the American military while their father was serving as commander-in-chief, leading this country to victory in World War II. It was unthinkable then that a wartime president could have sons who would not serve in the military, like Donald Trump and his sons and daughters. Abraham Lincoln's son enlisted during the Civil War. No one expected President Lyndon Johnson's daughters to serve in the Vietnam War in the 1960s before women were allowed full participation in military service, but President Johnson's son-in-law served in Vietnam. The Trump family's flawless record of avoiding military service would be unremarkable if Donald Trump never started a war. But when your father starts a war, an illegal and unconstitutional war, and you are of the age that is eligible to fight and die in your father's war, what do? There is no suspense tonight about what Barron Trump will do. He will do nothing. In 2 weeks, he will have his 20th birthday party. It will surely be a lavish affair. None of his friends will show up in military uniforms. No one who Barron Trump has ever been in a classroom with is likely to have joined the military. Donald Trump has been quoted by his former White House chief of staff saying that soldiers killed in combat are suckers and losers. What does that make a soldier who wasn't in combat and is killed? What does that make a soldier who was an IT specialist, who was never supposed to be exposed to anything more dangerous than a computer screen, who got killed in action, sitting in what was the safety of his office until Donald Trump started a war? Barron Trump will not be attending Declan Cody's funeral. Barron Trump, like every member of the Trump family, has never attended the military funeral of someone that they know who was killed in action. Like Barron Trump, Declan Cody was a college student, a sophomore at Drake University, and an Army reservist from West Des Moines, Iowa. He was an IT guy, an Army IT specialist. He graduated from Valley High School in West Des Moines in 2023, and he was one of the first American military personnel killed in Donald Trump's war. The others in the first group of names released were Captain Cody Cork, 35 years old, from Winter Haven, Florida; Sergeant First Class Noah Tejans, age 42, from Bellevue, Nebraska; and Sergeant First Class Nicole Amore from White Bear Lake, Minnesota, who was 39 years old. Tiffany Trump is 32 years old and eligible for military service in her father's war. No one in the Trump family will ever have any idea what it's like when they come and ring your doorbell. Declan Cody's father, Andrew, said that the family began to get worried on Sunday when Declan stopped responding to messages from his duty station in Kuwait.
I will say most of us started to wonder, and your gut starts to get a feeling. And then we go to bed fairly early, so we got ready Sunday night to go to bed, and we had just turned the lights off and went into the bedroom, and the doorbell rang at 8 p.m.
Kira Cody is 2 years older than Declan and still thinks of him as my little brother.
I still don't fully think it's real. I didn't think it was real when they told us, because I just remember all of our conversations about what he was going to do when he came back. I just really wish I got to tell him I love him one more time, because he was just so amazing, and he was in front of everybody, just was like really strong. He never let his emotions really show, but I don't know, I can't help but think just he was my little brother, and he was probably really scared even if he didn't want people to know. And so I just wished he could have known one more time that we all loved him, because he was so amazing and kind. And like my dad said, like, he didn't he didn't like speak like that much, but like every little thing he did was just so, I know I'm just saying he was kind, but I don't know. He was just like the best little brother you could have.
Killed in the line of duty is always agonizingly tragic for the families. But when those doorbells were ringing in World War II, at least the families knew what the soldiers were fighting for when they died. During the Vietnam War, the doorbell rang for 58,000 American families, and they were told how the soldiers they loved were killed. But they still have never been told why. Donald Trump's reason for starting his unconstitutional and illegal war changes by the hour, just like everything else Donald Trump has ever tried to explain. And on this, the fifth day of Donald Trump's war, 47 United States senators, including one Republican, Rand Paul, voted to end his war, while 53 senators, including one Democrat, John Fetterman, voted to let Donald Trump continue to do whatever he wants to do with the American military. Those senators did not specifically vote to authorize what Donald Trump is doing. They simply refused to vote to stop it. Even though Donald Trump has not been able to explain to any one of those senators why he launched this war. You couldn't ask for more exhibitions of the vacancy and confusion of Donald Trump's mind during this war of his choosing, the mind that launched this war. Yesterday, Donald Trump said that his father who was born in New York City, was born in Germany. Now think about that. Think about how lost that mind is. That mind that is supposed to be the mastermind of this illegal and unconstitutional war.
That country, UK, and I love that country. I love it. My mother was born there. I love it. My mother was born there. My father was born, right? He knows all about my father. My father was born there.
At least he knows where his mother was born. And we're giving Donald Trump the benefit of the doubt here because he never actually said the word Germany about his father. He said his mother was born in the United Kingdom, and she was, in Scotland. And then he said his father was born there, which could also mean the United Kingdom. But since he was pointing to the Chancellor of Germany, we assume he meant Germany because the Trump family is German. They are from Germany. And they fled Europe before Donald Trump's father was born to evade military service. That is the Trump family heritage. That is why Donald Trump is an American citizen. That is why his father was born in America, because Donald Trump's grandfather, Friedrich Drumpf, fled Europe to avoid military service. Another soldier killed in Donald Trump's war was identified tonight, 45-year-old Army Major Jeffrey O'Brien from Waukee, Iowa. The question tonight is, how many more? How many more Iranian civilians, non-combatants, will be killed? How many more Iranian protesters against the regime will be killed? How many more of those brave women in Iran who stood up to the dictatorship devoted to crushing them will now be crushed and killed by Donald Trump's war? How many more American soldiers will be killed in Donald Trump's war? How many more doorbells will ring? And why?